question. Are we trading in happiness for hundreds of dollars? Hundreds. Not thousands, not millions. Hundreds. Have we really traded that in? Just a question. I mean, honestly, who wants to give a majority of their life to working so that they can maybe hopefully make enough money to retire and then spend whatever time they have left doing whatever they can to make themselves happy, things they couldn't do or they missed out on when they were maybe younger and more able-bodied? Like, is that it? That's it? We come here, we're born, we work, hope that you can retire, and then that's it? Let's talk about it. Hello and welcome back to my channel, Jordan Mind, Body, and Soul, where we learn to take care of ourselves, mind, body, and soul. That's anything that's going to help you better yourself mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, even if it's just dialogue, anything that's going to help us progress. If you like that, then go ahead and subscribe. You are in the right place. Let's get started. Okay, so to give a little background on what even landed me to wanting to make this video would be, of course, my current position, and if you've seen any previous videos, but also coming to the realization of where I work now, I encounter a lot of elderly people. Most of them are elderly, and by elderly, I mean they're 65 plus. And even though most are 65 plus, I probably get a majority of people who are 75 plus, or at least in their 70s. And I don't have a lot of time to talk to them, but one common theme that I do see is that there are a lot of people who still have not retired. Like, there's this one guy who I talked to for a while yesterday. He called in. He was born, I want to say he was born in like 1941, and he was looking for a supplier. And basically he was saying, "Can you help me find one that's close to my job? Because I want to be able to go either before or after work. Can you find somewhere close to my job?" That's when it hit me that this man is like 83, 84 years old, and he's still working. What? So I can make another video about how the retirement age has increased significantly, and it doesn't seem to be declining anytime soon. That'd be a different video. But to stick to this topic, it bothers me that so many people, and I know people who've worked so hard all of their lives, and when they're done, their retirement pension and plan, it's okay. They have enough to where they're not maybe struggling, they're not hungry. There's a lot of systems in place and programs in place for the elderly to have assistance, but for all the work that they put in, I don't feel like it's worth it. I'm like, no. You put in 45 years plus at a company, you put in 30 years plus at a company, 20 years plus at a company. With my generation, we barely put in 5 years before we're ready to go to the next company. So to see someone work that hard, that long, and then still, question, can they have something that's close to their job? Like, do we really want that as our life? So on top of that, I remember reading a story that said you are most like the 3 people you were around most. And because the 3 people I'm around most are Terry and my 2 kids, I'm not gonna count the 2 kids. So I counted a few other adults and I added in about 5 people. And after just talking to them about, life, relating to them, and then them conversing with me about what's going on in their world, all of us who work in different fields, live in different states, like there's a lot of differences, all had the same agreement. And that was, we had unhappiness due to our jobs. And yes, in some cases it does have to do with not working at a job or company that you like. But then I know people who do work at a job in a company that they enjoy, but they're like, dang, like I'm working a lot of hours. Like I don't do anything else. I'm just working and I'm just making it. Like, this is making it. This would be above making it. I'm right here. Like I'm like, one mess up, one day off, one reason to call out, one mishap can really lead me to being in a tough situation. Then of course I tuned in on social media, and because this is a topic I speak on a lot of my videos that I watch are end up being about this topic or something similar. A lot of people are feeling this, like a lot of worldwide, like not just in America, because people be like, well, America has its own thing going on. No, a lot of people are feeling this worldwide. Anywhere you go, like I find people that's like, yeah, you know, here in blah blah blah, it's not any better. Or they'll say that we have it better, but they'll be like, oh, but y'all still have a problem? I didn't expect y'all to have a problem. So it's worldwide. And I do want to acknowledge that the structure of the 9 to 5 has basis, the system, the way it's built, in the same way the system and hierarchy was built in slavery. So obviously there's going to be some discomfort. Like it's a modern day slavery. It is. Like, you can call it whatever you want, but that's what it is. If we are in a situation to where we cannot leave or we cannot break out of it without some type of repercussions or some type of consequences, you are not free. And if you are not free, then what are you? Okay, well, there we have it. So that also leads me into saying that I feel like the 9 to 5 concept is outdated. It's outdated. First of all, I feel like when it was created, so after we segued out of slavery and then we created the 9 to 5 structure, there was like 7, maybe 10 people in the world. So you needed all of their time. Like, you're like, you have to be here this amount of time because this is not going to get done. There's nobody else to do it. We have the opposite problem. Now the market is saturated. You have more people than positions. Now, ideally, what should we do, Jordan? Okay, what I would say would be nice if I had a company and I had multiple employees, what I would do, which is the more expensive route, but I care about humans, is I would say, okay, we can hire on everybody part-time. Like, everyone's only going to be part-time. And this can happen because when I used to do contract work for like yoga and different fitness positions, being a trainer and all this stuff, they're mostly contract positions that are part-time. You can build up your schedule or your clientele to be full-time, technically, but it would be a part-time position. And those are the positions where I was the most happy because I was doing what I enjoyed and what I was passionate about. But also, there was a balance. And also, I was making more in those positions because those positions, like when you contract out as a yoga instructor or you contract out as a stretch therapist, you make good money. Like, you make a decent hourly wage. You just have to build your clientele. And the job itself, the work itself can be physically taxing, but again, once you build your clientele, you're good to go. Okay, so that's with the contract work. And we go off of my system or my ideology of hiring on everyone part-time. Everyone would be hired on part-time. The wages would be higher, and then people have more time to do maybe another side hobby or maybe something else that they enjoy doing. But it fills my business needs because I have multiple people. And then as I have multiple people working, also if there's call outs or sickness or something like that, I have people in place. Because now what the 9 to 5 structure does is it puts that pressure on the people who were there. So that's why you'll see situations and instances where you'll be at your job and it'll be a slow day. And then they're like, okay, guys, you know, it's kind of slow today. So they start getting you to do odd jobs like scrubbing the floorboards or picking gum off the sidewalk. Like, you start doing all these things because we're reaching the point where we have the efficiency, we have the capacity for the human to be in position to do their job, but the work isn't always there. Kind of a sidebar, but it still matters. But again, we know that like companies, they don't want to come out of pocket nothing. They barely want to pay you your hourly wage or your salary. They barely want to do it. So, I mean, anything that's progressive for humans or people is not really in discussion. And like I said, because I feel like the 9 to 5 concept and structure is so outdated, to me, it's like this. I have my problems and conflicts with it, but it did work at a time. At a date and time, it worked. It's like if somebody builds a car in 1942 And it is a top tier car. Like, it has all the amazing features and stuff that it needs. It is like a really, really nice car. If you take that same car, boom, and you tell someone today that they need to be driving that car, today, in 2024, you need to be driving that car from 1942, it's outdated. It worked. It was nice. It had its time. But now it's outdated. Like, it's not going to get you there anymore. But especially in our society, when we have companies or we have structures that have been in place, people usually don't try to change it or test it. If it works, it's working enough, but it's not the best. It's not the best. The structure is horrible. But people don't want to break free of that chain. They want to stay inside the cycle. And you hear the people who talk about it like, I left and I'm just so happy. Or, I left and maybe I'm still struggling. Maybe I still have these other problems, but I don't have that problem. And that's a big problem. I mean, it's a large chunk of your day. Like I say in almost every video, what else would you be doing if you didn't have to go to work? What else would you do? I work on days that I would have been working, but I'm off because I took off or I did something else. I kind of clock watch. And then I started doing all these different things. And I'm like, okay, I did 3 loads of laundry, ate, took a nap, worked out, hung out with the baby, put the baby to sleep. I did all these things. And if I were working today, I would still have 3 hours left. And I'm like, wow, okay. So productivity definitely leads to me believing that I'd be more productive, but then I would need to find something to fill in the income aspect of it. So I'm having this realization. A lot of people are having this realization. And I mean, it just seems like the slumber party is over. People are waking up. To go on top of that, another frustration that I have with the 9-to-5 structure, especially if you're only hourly, or I mean, honestly, if you're salaried too. Check this out. Let's say a person is making $12 an hour at my job. We don't have a cap on calls. So you just need to complete your call. Like, you need to complete your task. I can have back-to-back calls because there are only people calling in for simple things. So you're like, boom, boom, boom. Done. If the person's making $12 an hour, they're going to get $12 for that hour. Sometimes there's calls that go on for 45 minutes, sometimes an hour. Like, this person needs detailed assistance. Guess what? They still getting $12 an hour. Where's the incentive? Like, why would I go harder? Like, why would I be like, let me do this. Let me hurry up. Let me do it. Why? Why would I do that? If when I do it, I'm gonna make $12 an hour, and if I don't do it, I'm gonna make $12 an hour, right? We're losing that. Like, where's the balance? Like, what does this mean? Now, again, I do feel like we've been programmed since we were children, and it kind of fueled us into the society of working. Because even if you just think about like the school structure, like, it's really, really important for you, especially at school, to fall in line. Like, the kids who ask like the questions, or they're a little disruptive, not in a point of being bad, but to where they're not doing exactly what everyone else is doing. The person who the teacher's like, when you guys come in, everybody needs to come and sit over here, and that person comes in, they walk all the way around, they still sit over there, but you can tell there's some type of disruption in them doing exactly what they're supposed to do. They get in trouble. They get ISS, they get suspension, they get kicked out to the side. If they have a teacher, and not in a disrespectful manner, but in a corrective manner, or they offer any type of information or something that defies the rest of the class, that person is, you gotta go. You gotta leave. You gotta get out of my class. They're often dismissed. And everybody else is just falling in line. We're in our rows, we're in our desk, we're in line, we're right where you want us. And then, A's, B's, B's, anything else, well, at least that's how I was brought up. A's and B's. You get a C, you might as well get a D or an F, because you need to be getting an A or B. But we're programmed to like that, to think like that. I have to be good. So other than the pressure to perform and to have your employer be like, good job, Johnny, yeah. Other than that, the only other benefit that you really get from that is maybe if you're at a place you could like, or you like, maybe you move up in the workplace and maybe you get $1 raise every 2 years. But like I always say too, you're gonna have more, you have more of a chance having greater income going to a different company at that same position than you climbing the ladder at the current company that you're at. Another quick mention to talk about how outdated the system is. Honestly, we've advanced to a point to where we have figured out how to get robots and different systems to aid us so we don't have to do so much work. I mean, think about before we had computers, and some places still do it. They have everything like written and documented in like files, like actual file cabinets. And sometimes now it's the work that's printed off, but now you can just store it in your computer. And you're like, oh, okay, this is there. That's something that helps you. That keeps you from having to organize and sort through so much work. We have an IVR. Now, granted, most people hate them. Which is the IVRs are the automated systems that come through and try to help you resolve your problems so you don't have to speak to an agent. I think last year during our busy time, because our open enrollment happens and it gets crazy, I'm going to say that they told us that AI handled 45% of calls. Like that it was able to go through 45% of the calls. And I'm thinking, 45? Why didn't she do the rest? Was she needed a break or something? Like, that's what you lose with a robot. You don't have to give a break. You ain't even got to pay her. Just tell her to do more work. You know what I'm saying? Like, the same way y'all be standing over us, like, do this, do that, do that, do that. Tell her. But I'm telling you, when they come through after the IVR, people be pissed off. Because sometimes, like, they're only structured to do certain tasks. So when you start asking them something outside of their task, they're like, huh? What? No, number 5. And you're like, that's not what I said. Like, no. So I get the frustration, but that's with time. That's things that are worked out. And we're at a time where we can get computers and technology because we built technology so that it can assist us, so that it can help us. Why are we still working all these crazy, ridiculous hours? Why? They're like, oh, because you need people to work the machines. Yes, but you don't need people to work the machines 80 hours. You don't need it. Like, you don't. There's no balance. Now, to go a little bit back, that can be a slippery slope too, because we don't want them getting too confident to where we got a problem. But on the smaller scale, it just seems like, why wouldn't we allow them to assist us or help us more so that we can do other things for our life, so that we can focus on other things in our life? And then I'm like, oh yeah, I remember. I know why. Because if we're done doing everything we're supposed to do, and we have to, and we actually have time to sit and think and figure out, what life is, we might figure out some things that are really happening that we've been told that are lies. Okay, cool. So now we're busy. Okay, it's busy work. To wrap things up, solution-wise, because I always like to end the videos with like solution. Like, okay, we know this is gonna happen. What are we gonna do? Jordan's gonna try to find something that's part-time. I feel like that really helped me. Like I said earlier, when I used to do contract work, especially yoga and being a stretch therapist, things that I really enjoy, it was a little more sporadic because like sometimes you might have 3 clients, and then each client was there for an hour. So sometimes you'll have 3 clients, and then sometimes you might have a client that cancels. Like it offered some type of change to where I didn't feel like I was like, all right, I'll be back tomorrow. Like it made me feel like tomorrow might be different. Like somebody might cancel and then somebody else might book. And so it's like, ooh, I thought I was gonna see this person, now I'm not seeing this person. So it added an element of excitement that I'm not getting at this 9 to 5. And that was, again, contract work, part-time, but the wage was pretty good. I made more doing that. I didn't have health insurance, I didn't have those benefits, but I made enough money that when things happened, I don't have any serious like medical conditions or anything, but if I had to get medicine or if I had to do something, I just paid out of pocket. I just want to end this with saying that also for me right now, what I'm realizing is what's most important to me right now is motherhood. I've been kind of like, I guess, conditioned to feel like I have to find my passion and I have to find my career and I'm gonna be the best. I'm gonna be the boss. I'm gonna be the CEO. And all that is nice, all that is great. But at this point in my life, which I kind of always knew, I just want to be a mom. I just want to be a mom. Like, that's it. Like, I just want to take care of my household, take care of my baby, and we're working toward that. So I appreciate you guys watching this journey as I'm actualizing my dreams and my goals. But it's just a realization. It's just a realization that I'm having, that I'm sure a lot of people have had as well. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Is this 9-to-5 structure outdated? Am I tripping? Do I need to just go ahead and suck it up? Welcome to the world. Which, if you say that, you can just go ahead and hop off this video. Don't even comment, because what's the point? But like, let me know what you guys are thinking. Let me know what you guys are feeling, because like I said, this is a collective. Like, this isn't something I just came up with by myself. Like, I don't like it, I don't want to work. Like, there's a lot of people that are like, something's gotta something. You guys let me know. Overall, guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope this video sparks just some thought, just even if it just takes you a few seconds, just to set a time to think and plan what you want out of your life and what you want for your life. I love you so much, and I thank you for watching. Don't forget, take care of yourself, mind, body, and soul, and I will see you in the next video.